Cliff showed me some documents then from the Manhattan Project that had recently been declassified. I then got a publication from 1949 where this man had been there when they actually started working with the fluoride and did the original toxicology studies. And they described what happened to some of these people when they were accidentally overexposed to fluoride. And here's what he found. All the seriously injured individuals were unusually nervous, apprehensive for 4 to 5 days after the accident. One individual was definitely overstimulated for about 3 days, exaggerating all facial expressions and being unusually verbose and talkative. At times, he was almost incoherent. The other seriously injured patient, although normally quiet and placid, became very apprehensive with a similar tendency toward the exaggeration of statements. The opinion of all observers held that the mental reactions were more than could possibly be explained on a fear-reaction basis. The second accident that they had, the mental status for the first 5 or 6 days following the accident was marked by general sluggishness, the couch potato syndrome, with transient periods of restlessness, irascibility, and nervous tension with occasional silliness and loss of contact. Does that sound like anybody you know?
Do you taste the fluoride yet? Do you understand that maybe you could have been misled? Have you been lied to in the past? Did you believe the weapons of mass destruction? Do you think it was 19 guys in caves flying those planes? You know, even though they weren't on the passenger list, even though the cockpit door on the data recorders don't show that the cockpit door was opened. Gee, how did Flight 93 make the call? Oh, let's roll. Turns out the FBI says no phone calls, but that's all another thing. So once again, just a little bit, let's go back to Bill Gates and the TED thing. Listen closely to what he thinks is a good idea.
First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%. But there we see an increase of about 1.3. If you gave me only one wish for the next 50 years, I can pick who's president, I can pick a vaccine, which is something I love, I can pick a vaccine, which is something I love. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%. I can pick a vaccine, which is something I love. We could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%. We could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
I've got a question for you. Is it you that you want sterilized or to die off with these vaccines, the things he loves? Or do you want your daughter to be sterilized or your son? Or is it your grandchildren you want sterilized? Oh wait, if you got your daughter and your son sterilized, maybe you wouldn't have grandchildren. What's a wonderful thing? What did Bill Gates say was a wonderful thing? Why don't you follow the money? Consider thinking for yourselves. Maybe read some books. Maybe shut off the programming box called the boob tube. And when you do that, enjoy your family. Enjoy the beauty of the world around you. Remember your homework. Find out, what is eugenics? Why do these people that strive for power, these rich global elitists, why do they embrace it? Why do they want it? Why do they put stuff in your food and your water? Just like the science czar said they would. Maybe you want to read Zbigniew Brzezinski's book, Between Two Ages, where he says, put stuff in their food, put stuff in their water, put stuff in their vaccines. I know this may be a little hard to take, but if you love your family and you want your family to do well, maybe it's time you have your friends watch The Real Story. So please stay healthy, God bless this republic, and down with the New World Order.
Question is, will they kill untold millions as they did in the last century? It is not the elite cockroaches that determine that. It is you.